Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be my video on how I get my internet off-grid. I am about, as a bird flies, I'm about 10 miles from town, that way. There's no electricity, no gas, no water, no nothing up here. I bought this piece of property, 48 acres of raw land out in the middle, and I mean out in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing out here for miles. I do have a couple of neighbors, but they're also off-grid. Dirt roads, very primitive dirt roads. Okay, so we are off-grid. My power comes from the sun, and to be honest, not much of it comes from that wind turbine, but it is what it is. So yes, we are off-grid. So, internet, off-grid, how do I do it? Well, it all starts with that antenna right there. That is a cell signal booster antenna, cell phone signal booster antenna. It is a directional antenna. It is pointed towards town, where the tower is, the cell tower. The closest one to me anyways. So, all right, so in order for all of my internet to work, the signal comes in that antenna right there. Okay, I'm gonna go over this really quick because I got to get out of here. But it comes in that antenna, comes down through regular coax cable, in, out the conduit underground, still coax cable, to here, out of the conduit, and it comes out here. Temporarily, I have it going through the slide on my trailer. Okay? So, let's take you inside and show you the rest. It's a little dark in here, I apologize. Let me see if I can get some light. That doesn't help much, I'm sure, but okay. The signal comes through coax cable here, if I can get to it. Through the slide, coax cable goes into this box. The cell phone signal booster is the brand WeBoost. This is the WeBoost, I believe, Home Connect 4G. There was no cell signal up here when I first started my camp. Absolutely zero. I might get a flicker of one bar on my phone occasionally, but if I tried to start a phone call, it would be dropped within about 10 seconds. So this thing was essential. And let me tell you, it works very, very well. I went from pretty much no service up here to full bars, 4G, LTE internet, or cell service, cell signal. So, all right, let's continue. And this, you can buy them online. I bought this on Amazon, I believe. Not super cheap. I think it was right around 320 bucks. This is the whole home cell signal booster, not just the RV cell signal booster. So it has a lot more amplification of the signal from this antenna I'm about to show you. Okay, so again, it comes from outside antenna in. It goes through. Make sure you have all 4 green lights. If one of them's red, you need to adjust something. Comes out, goes up and around to this antenna. This also comes with the kit. Everything I've shown you so far comes with the WeBoost kit, except for the pole, but the antenna does. This is the inside antenna, this large rectangular thing. I just hung it on the wall here. This is also somewhat of a directional antenna. I do receive signal outside or in the bathroom behind this antenna, but the majority of the power from this antenna goes this way. The reason why is in the instructions, they tell you to face this antenna the opposite direction of the antenna outside. You don't want this facing that antenna. There's some kind of interruption that occurs and it messes up your signal. So it is facing away. Now, this gives me cell service up here, 4G LTE, but that wasn't good enough for me as far as internet. It works great if you have a hotspot on your phone. You can mess around on your computer with it, no problem. Super fast. But if you like to stream video, like I do, I have a Amazon Fire Stick, which is what I watch pretty much everything on in high definition. That'll burn through your hotspot on your phone. Like mine is I get like 15 gigs a month of hotspot data on my phone plan, Verizon. That will burn through that 15 gigs in about 2 days, all of it, streaming high def video on, like, say, a Fire Stick. So I needed to do something different. So what I did was, and I'll take you over here real quick, over to the TV. Sorry guys, a little dusty. The wind blasts through this door, out the windows, and carries dust with it every single day. So there you go. I ended up having to buy this Verizon jetpack. This is a MiFi. I don't remember what it is and the number on it. It's the, oh, I couldn't even tell you. I'd have to pull this thing apart to tell you. So you know what, let me try to pull this apart real quick. And that doesn't help. Awesome. Well, it's a Novatel. Anyways, it's one of the newer ones. Now, kind of expensive. This one I got refurbished on, I think, Amazon or eBay, I don't remember, for $90 or so, something like that. That's not expensive. What's expensive is the monthly service plan. So this receives a SIM card and basically its own phone number, just like a cell phone. You have to activate it just like you would a phone. They have different plans. I wanted unlimited data, like as much as I could get. So no cap, basically. And for that, you have to go reoccurring automatic payment, and it ends up being $65 a month. Kind of pricey for internet, but we're out in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing out here. There's no other way for me to get internet unless I went with like satellite internet, and that's, if you do the research on those, they're pretty crappy, and they're actually pretty expensive. So this was the best option for me. So that emits cell phone signal, 4 bars, 5 bars, however many bars you get on your phone, it's full bars. It comes across, this receives the cell signal, and then it turns it into Wi-Fi signal. So you connect to that just like you would connect to your home Wi-Fi router, which was great. That works for my Fire Stick. It does. It works for my Fire Stick. However, you're limited on that to how many devices can connect to it at one time. And sometimes I've got 10-15 people up here, and you know, everybody has their phone these days, and they all want to be able to connect. So that was kind of a problem. So what I did, I have a couple of old Wi-Fi routers from home. I ended up taking this old Netgear that I have, still a good Wi-Fi router, and I basically hacked it. You can look it up on YouTube if you want to learn how to do it. But it's called DDW, or sorry, let me start over. DD-WRT. Okay. What that is it's basically like a third-party firmware for pretty much dang near all Wi-Fi routers. And what it does is it allows you so many more options on your Wi-Fi router as to what you can do with it. So what I ended up doing with it is I installed the DD-WRT on it. It's kind of scary if you've never done it before, because you can turn that thing into a brick if you're not careful. But you can learn how to do it on YouTube. I did the same thing. I didn't know exactly at all what I was doing until I looked it up on YouTube. Anyways, what it does is it essentially takes this router and turns it into a bridge. So there are no Ethernet cables hooked up to this whatsoever, just the power cord. So the way that firmware works is you can adjust it. There's so many different settings on there, but you can adjust it to receive Wi-Fi signal from another device and then retransmit it further out. So that's what I did. So I set it up to receive the signal from my jetpack into this router, and then it's called a bridge because it then takes that signal and sends it somewhere else. So now people that show up here can connect to that Wi-Fi router, which is using the signal from my jetpack, which is using the signal from my cell phone signal booster. Sounds pretty crazy, but it works. And I don't think there's any number of a limit onto how many people can connect to a regular Wi-Fi router. So they can all connect to that. Also, the great thing about this system is that yes, the jetpack works pretty good, but it's got a limited range, especially inside this metal trailer. So this has a much wider range on Wi-Fi signal. So I have Wi-Fi further outside beyond the trailer. Well, then what I did, because I installed a surveillance system on the front of my little cabin there, which also uses Wi-Fi service to send me alerts when I'm not here, is I took another old router, which is now sitting inside the cabin there, and I did the same thing with it as well. Turned it into another repeater bridge, and that router in the cabin receives the signal from the router that I have sitting back here behind my sink, not the jetpack, but the router behind my sink. It receives signal from that and then rebroadcasts it. So now we have good signal out in the cabin. Same thing, I installed DD-WRT on that router as well in order to do that. And again, there's no Ethernet cables going from inside the trailer out to the cabin. It's all wireless. That is how I have my off-grid internet. There's no other better solution out here where I am at this point in time for the price. So $65 a month, automatic payment, and I have unlimited internet out here. High def video streaming. The only drawback to it, and I'm going to explain real quick, is that jetpack in there above my TV is, I guess it's called network managed or priority. It always gets signal no matter what day or time of the day it is. However, depending on how busy the cell tower is in town, people using it, this will slow down slightly. So every once in a while my signal will slow down a little bit. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie or a TV show or something, and it might buffer for like, I don't know, 20 seconds, but then it's gone. It's back to high def. So that's the only drawback. It depends on the time of day and what day it is, depending on how busy the cell tower is in town. So that's it. That's my off-grid internet. It sounds kind of complicated, but once you go through all the steps like I did and do your research on YouTube, you can figure out how to do it. I had no idea what I was doing when I started this whole thing, but the first thing I had to do was get a cell phone signal booster up here. Otherwise, none of this would be possible. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for this one because I need to get out of here. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.